Today, Florida Governor Rick Scott publicly criticized Congress for going into recess without appropriating money for the spraying of mosquitoes in Florida that might be carrying the Zika virus. This raises a very interesting and important issue that I've been talking about. It's a great example of the use of the Interstate Commerce Clause as a surrogate for a general welfare clause that does not exist in the Constitution. There would be argument involving people concerned about the environment and people concerned about public health as to whether or not we want to spray poison. Presumably it's a toxic chemical. Do we want to spray that into the environment to combat what is a tragic virus, the Zika virus, that causes very tragic birth defects? That's an argument that is a reasonable one to have. And I won't express my personal opinion about it, because it doesn't matter. What I want to point out is that there is no constitutional authority for Congress to do what many might consider a very good and necessary thing, and that is appropriate money to combat the Zika virus, to spray those mosquitoes in Florida. My suspicion, I have to assume that the only constitutional justification posited for this would be the Interstate Commerce Clause. It gives Congress the power to regulate interstate commerce. And as I've mentioned before, it is used as a surrogate for the wished-for non-existent general welfare clause. Getting rid of bad mosquitoes, a bad virus, a tragic virus, that promotes the general welfare. The question then is, well, I can't imagine how we would stretch the Interstate Commerce Clause to justify the appropriation of federal tax money to combat mosquitoes in Florida. Yeah, mosquitoes fly across state lines, of course, but they're not conducting commerce. I mean, come on, give me a break. And I'm not saying that we should not be combating this virus. Of course we should be combating it in some ways. But this raises, again, this question: do we want a government that is rule of law, or do we want a national government to which we give carte blanche and say, if you think it's a good thing to do, go ahead and do it, whether or not it is legal? We're going to have rule of law because, as I explained in an earlier video, if you don't have rule of law, you cannot have justice. Law becomes arbitrary and capricious, and groups of people, minorities of people, become vulnerable to arbitrary and capricious government power. So one of our challenges when we, the people, finally assume control of our government, which we do not have now, but we're going to, that's going to be one of our great challenges. By what legitimate, legal, constitutional means will we decide to perhaps expand the power given to Congress so that Congress can make decisions about spraying mosquitoes in Florida that carry a very bad virus? Anyway, there's a lot to think about here, and the more I ponder these issues, the more I realize their enormous importance, their significance, and the fact that we, the people, have a lot of work to do. And we are going to do it. Did I point in the right direction? We're going to do it. We are going to take charge of our government, and we are going to work collectively. We're a diverse society. Again, there are some people who would question spraying mosquitoes if it's harmful to the environment. There are others who would question, giving environmental concerns, precedence over human disease concerns. Anyway, we have a lot of work to do. We're a great nation of good and great people for the most part, overwhelmingly so. We're going to take on these challenges. We're going to solve these problems. And let me, as a final note, mention, I am right now, as we speak, here in my backyard at a time when the mosquitoes are fairly ferocious this time of year. I got bit like crazy a day or two ago making a video. Today I bought this product. It's an all-natural mosquito repellent, and mosquitoes are not biting me. It works. I used to have to drive 55 miles to Nashville to purchase an all-natural mosquito repellent. Guess where I bought this for $4.97? Walmart in Shelbyville, a few miles away. I'm happy about this. Anyway, this stuff works. Lemon and eucalyptus. All right, little product promotion there. And it doesn't kill mosquitoes, but it repels them. And it's not poisoning the environment. So I feel good about it. It's not poisoning me either. All right, I talk a lot, don't I? It's a nice afternoon. It's a beautiful afternoon, in fact, here in Bell Buckle, Tennessee. Not too hot, not too humid, and this is primary election day here in Tennessee, and I'll talk about that in a future video. I talk too much. Okay, thank you for listening. You're very gracious, and I appreciate it.